Welcome to Rewired Inspired Show. I am your host, Elena Petrescu, certified hypnotist, numerologist, and body language expert. This show is all about transformation, rewiring the minds, awakening the hearts, and inspiring you to step into your highest potential. Each episode, we dive into deep, powerful conversations with leaders, healers, and visionaries who've turned challenges into breakthroughs. Their stories remind us that change doesn't begin outside of us, it begins within. So take a breath, open your heart, and get ready to be rewired and inspired. Because today I am excited to welcome to the show a beautiful soul. Her name is Luciana Stan. And Luciana has a beautiful background. She is a true surgeon of the heart, helping women heal from heartbreak and step into empowerment. She has over 25 years of practice as an osteopath, craniosacral therapist. She's a Reiki master, a shamanic Hawaiian facilitator, and she guides you to get deep transformation by releasing trauma, negative emotions, and limiting beliefs. And you're going to release them neurologically, energetically, and unconsciously. She trained in NLP, timeline therapy, and hypnosis. Luciana recently published her book called The Phoenix Within, inspiring women around the world to discover their power and rise renewed. Luciana, a warm welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Elena, for having me here on your show, Rewired and Inspire. I feel so grateful for being here with you.
Thank you for being here. You know, I looked at your history, and you've always described your journey from what I could find, from wanting to be a surgeon as a child to discovering a deeper purpose as a surgeon of the heart. And what I love to for you to do is share moments that made you realize your real work was not just about healing bodies, but healing people at the emotional and energetical level, and sharing more about your story so that people can relate.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, yes, as you said, since I was a little girl, I guess that I had that calling because I was telling my mom that I want to help people, even though at that time I didn't know how. I was always fascinated that what exists beyond the physical body. And as a teenager afterwards, like it's my intention was to become a surgeon, but I am from Romania, as you know, and my mom at that time thinking of me as a woman growing up, like it's in Romania, I will not actually be very successful as a surgeon. And she suggested to me to become, like it's more like a business analyst or economics, and it is much better and safer for a woman this way. But my heart, my soul was guiding me somewhere else. So I listened to her. Yes, I did the studies in economics and in business, but I was not happy. And at that time, also, it happened to be the 1990 when I couldn't take it anymore, what was going on there in the country, and I left, which of course was a challenge. And I ended up with some trauma myself from all that escape. And when I actually arrived here in Canada, I looked for many, many ways, first and foremost, to heal my soul from what I experienced. Uh, and this way to fulfill my purpose that I felt as a child of helping others. So that is how my journey began. First, with the Reiki, and I never had any intention in the beginning to become a Reiki master or to teach it, or it was first for me, and after, to apply it to help others. And after that, when one doors opens, the doors continues to open. I was guided into the craniosacral therapy and osteopathy because personally I was suffering with very severe migraines, and I was not going the medical route with the medication that actually just band-aid the system, the symptoms, and also gives even more side effects. So that is a little bit about the beginning of my journey into this world of helping the body, the mind, and the soul. And if you want me to say, like it is how from there I moved into actually releasing emotionally my trauma at the unconscious level and neurologically. And what it fascinated me from there, that deep, deep healing can occur when we address all those layers, that I wanted to help others to heal that gentle, natural, and effective way.
You mentioned that you were guided. So explain that a little bit. I'm curious to know, um, how were you guided to take this path? Are you kind of channeling things, or do you speak with spirit, or it was just something that came from within? Share more
So
about that.
yes, of course. Um, in the beginning, as I was saying, as I was little, I was feeling different things, or, some people say, oh, she's just anticipating, but probably I was getting the message before actually something will happen, will occur. And that's why the moment that I was able to go and study the energy work of Reiki, and after, the integrated energy therapy and the shamanic healing, I guess that it's more and more that facet, uh, and the ability to challenge, and to challenge myself this way and actually channel opened up. Um, Always the ego, the critical thinker, it can be at the back of our mind. But I allow that feeling that it's so deep within, um, to go and explore. And when I said it, it's doors opened up, like literally when I started to work with people, at one point or another, I could feel, a much stronger presence that, yes, we can call universal energy, we can call God, we can call angels. However, the person may believe in whatever their belief is, but definitely it was a stronger presence of light or of positivity that was helping me. And actually, it's very interesting that I remember right now, I was walking in any store and I will see feathers. I will see pictures of angels or statues of angels, or which for me, it was a sign like, that it's the universe was telling, continue, continue, just go on their path. And that actually, like, it guided me to study, for example, integrated energy therapy, which not that many people knows about. But what it's at the base of it is the fact that we hold trapped in the body the emotions, and the emotions are trapped originally energetically. And after, if they are not treated, if they are not released, they become a physical disease. So I was so fascinated when actually they told me that, yes, we work with that, but also we work with angels. So that is where, opened another door. And I said, okay, I want to do that for myself. And again, I got to the point of getting into the master level with no intention of teaching. But after I was thinking, okay, how can I not share this with the world? Yes, and the stories goes exactly like that. After that, I went to a workshop one day, and they introduced me to the shamanic Hawaiian tradition of Huna, and after the NLP and timeline therapy. And there is where I understand even more profoundly the connection between the unconscious mind and the physical body, and how much we can store at the unconscious level without realizing that can affect the physical body.
Hmm. That's very interesting. You mentioned angels. You mentioned shamanic, uh, shamanic traditional um,
Puna.
huna, and you also mentioned energetic therapy. I'm curious. I know, do you use all of that? But I'm curious to know. I've never myself interviewed anybody who does shamanic traditional huna. So talk to me a little bit about that. What does it entail? How do you work with people using this process?
Mm-hmm. Was fascinating to me because again I was attracted to first of all the shamanic indigenous Americans, yeah, tradition, and at the base of the shamanic healing of Huna, it's actually understanding the connection that we have with all the elements of nature, the five elements, and the fact that at the base of anything is the connection between conscious mind, unconscious mind, and higher self. And how us humans, we forget how to breathe. We forget in our society at this moment that, our connection with the earth energy, or with the water, or with the fire, or with the air that we breathe, and of course with the spirit world. So in the shamanic Hawaiian tradition, we are guided, and that is what I'm working also with my clients, to guide them to reconnect with that part of themselves that can heal based on their connection with the five elements, based on the breath work. And I was fascinated even by the story that one of the shamans was telling us there, when it's they tell us that we forget how to breathe, and at the base of everything is that ha breath, which is the breath of life for them. From there, of course, like it is the more advanced work that I do with shamanic Hawaiian tradition. It's clearing and opening their chakras, helping them to reconnect with the higher self and understand that connection. And also the process of forgiveness and cutting the cords, the Ho'oponopono process, which I know that a lot of people heard about it just with the thank you, I love you, please forgive me. But it's way much more than that. And I incorporate all of that in the sessions that I do.
Wow, fascinating. When I think of shamanic, I think about ayahuasca. When people go and take ayahuasca, and I do understand that's not what your process is,
Mm-mm.
but you said something again. You are being guided. So when you do this shamanic process, do you channel certain messages for the people that are within your work? Do you feel that energy? And and what is the how do you feel in that moment? What is the experience that you go through in that specific moment? If you can describe it, that'll be great
Oh,
for the audience.
absolutely. Yes. So, yes, in general, when I connect with the person that it's in front of me, either that it's on a Zoom call or in person, and I connect physically and energetically, um, I see things or I hear things. And if the person is opening up, I will tell. If I see that it's a little bit more, like it's I don't want to say blocked, but doubtful, I keep it for myself, and I ask them how they feel or what I feel. And only if they are open, I can go further into it and open their Akashic records. And there, even more information will come to me, and that is what we can call, yeah, like the channeling the information.
You mentioned also that you, through this process, you help them connect with their higher self. If we look at the world around us right now, do you feel that a lot of people are kind of elevating themselves? They're more spiritual. There are more of them out there that are looking for someone like you who wants to connect with their, help them connect with their higher self. Do you feel that the consciousness is growing from your experience? I certainly do feel that. I like to know your
Absolutely,
opinion.
absolutely. I feel that it is an awakening in the society today. In the human spirit is searching for more. Um, 25 years ago when I started my practice and I was talking about Reiki or craniosacral, the people were just like, what they are talking about? Compared with now that it's like, oh, tell me more. Oh, okay, so you do this. Oh, okay, so do I feel disconnected? Explain to me how I can be connected or what do I need to do? So yeah, absolutely, it is an awakening. It's a shift energetical. I feel it myself in many ways, like in the shamanic Hawaiian tradition, we learn also lucid dreaming or dream interpretation. And I observe that even in the dreams, I go somewhere farther than here, how they say it. But yeah, definitely, definitely, there are many more people that they want to um, understand better this world of the unseen, but that it can be so powerful.
I mean, Luciana, you mentioned the Akashic records. I have an interesting question that I want to ask you. I know that you do open the Akashic records for other people. Did you ever, or did you ever think, or did you ever open the Akashic records to look at what's happening in the world right now, or maybe in the future? Um, and if you did, do you want to share anything with us, or I'm curious to know about that. Can you open the Akashic records and see what's coming up down the pipeline in next year and the year after that?
So I will tell you that the answer is no, not that I cannot, is that usually the Akashic records, they are addressed to each individual, and we open the records with the permission
Okay.
of the person and with the full name of the person. So I will never do something, even out of curiosity, of trying to open Akashic records for someone or for this world, because it's we are opening a portal, right? So it's sometimes, you say you have so many tools, be careful what you do with them, right? So it's
It's true.
I've been taught from the shamanic kahuna at that time that always work with ecology in mind. So meaning with the respect and permission of the people.
That's great. Now, many of your clients show up with deep emotional patterns, maybe limiting beliefs, unconscious blocks. Can you walk us through to for example, an example, like share a story where you've helped someone release those blocks?
Yes, no, absolutely. So, the interesting part is that a lot of the clients, they come to me with a physical issue. And through the questions that I ask them, I can hear beyond actually what they are saying, that it's much more of an emotional trauma attached to that physical body or to the physical symptom. And through different questions, I got even a better picture, map of what is going on with them. Of course, I tell them all the tools that I can help them with, and if they are ready for deep healing, not at the surface level, because we always know that when we work just on the physical body, when an emotional component is attached to it, that physical symptom will show up. But when we address the emotion to release it and the component of the limiting belief uh, at the unconscious level, and I keep saying it neurologically and energetically, it's because the soma, right? Like it is the body is holding on to that trauma. And I'm sure that it's, you know, what I refer to when I say, we listen to a song pops up on a radio, and that can trigger a beautiful emotion, and we feel it, we see it vividly, that moment, or it can be a negative emotion. And the reason that that happens is because that is a trigger to the trauma that exists in our body. And we may go into an terrible physical feeling unless we release it. So that is what I explain to them. And with their permission, then I work with all the modalities that I learned, that I experienced myself, that I worked with myself first and foremost. And again, a person that came with the temporomandibular joint dysfunction to discover that, actually it suffered 30 years of not expressing the abuse that she suffered when she was a little girl, and to feel empowered down the line after we finish the sessions. It's a huge
Breakthrough.
satisfaction for me, and
Yeah.
also for her, very empowering. It's just an
Absolutely.
example. I had also ladies, and I'm saying ladies because I created more niche for the women in need. I had ladies that they knew that they have certain negative emotional limiting beliefs. They didn't know how to let go of them. They didn't know how to release them. They read the books, they did the affirmations, but they were still there. So they are even more ready to let it go. And it's easier, of course. On my side, it's much easier to work with someone like that.
Yeah, it's easier when they have someone like you who can walk them through the process and, hold their hand. Who is your ideal client? Do you work primarily with women, or um, what are your what is your ideal clients that you work with?
Yes, I work with women. I observe that women, more than men, are more open to work on themselves on a deeper level. But it doesn't mean that I don't work with men that approach me for that. And I admire them for their determination and, the acceptance. For a man, it's a little bit more difficult than for women to accept that they have a problem. But that is amazing, because the moment that they accept it, like it's an easier release. So, and also from the point of view of newborns and babies, they also, some of them, they are born with trauma, either the trauma through the birth process, but also if the mother had the trauma as they were pregnant with the babies. So also another niche on that regard is newborns and babies. And it's beautiful to see how they release so fast, because they don't carry those limiting beliefs like us.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. So it's easier for them to open up.
Mhm.
Now, you mentioned the book, and I actually did see your book because I attended this Romanian author's ceremony, and your book was there. I'd like you to share with the audience, what does that book represent to you? And if someone was to buy that book, how will that book help them?
Absolutely. So I was inspired to write the book after actually I created my 12 weeks program on healing the hearts. And the Phoenix Within It's dedicated for any woman that undergone heartbreak, abuse, trauma in their relationships. And I was inspired to write the book because there were so many of the women that they came to me with this situation. And not only that, my own personal experience, and also what my daughter had to go through. And you know how it is, you do what you do, but when you see your girl hurting, then you want to change the world. So this book is not a novel. And I'm saying that as I was telling to one of my clients that she bought the book and she says, "Oh, I will read it now." And I said, "No, no, you don't just read this book, you work through it." It's a self-healing workbook that actually it guides module by module, chapter by chapter, to identify the root cause, to identify the negative emotions that maybe they never looked into it, the limiting beliefs, to understand the cause and effect, and that blaming others for our issues, actually we give the power away, to understand the boundaries, and what are their boundaries, to stand strong from their boundaries so that whatever happened in the past will never happen again. The process of forgiveness that we were talking before, and the importance of cutting the cords, because if we were in a relationship, and even with our parents and friends, we create a bond, an energetical connection, and it can be very draining if that is not a good exchange of energy. Helping them with other chapter, identifying the values, what is important for them, what is important in life, what is important like it's in a relationship. So that is all that it is in this beautiful book, that they can find it on different platforms, on the Amazon, but also on my website.
Beautiful. And you mentioned, Luciana, cutting the cords. I'd like you to explain that a little more so that people can understand what that term means. And even for myself, I think I do have an idea of what that means, but I would love your explanation.
Yes, of course. You know, like it's when we are born, right? So it's in the mother womb, we have the umbilical cord. And even if that umbilical cord is cut, that connection with the mother through that energetical, invisible cord exists, and it will always exist. Well, the same with every single person that we come in contact, we create an energetical connection. We have a connection right now, right? Even if we are so far apart, and through the screen, we have this connection and the energy flows. Yeah, but there are times, especially when we have a relationship that ended, and maybe it didn't end it in such a positive way, that energetical cord still exists and is not an exchange of energy, is not a flow, will drain us unless we can actually disconnect or cut those cords.
And how do you do that? Through a prayer, through a, uh, um, you know,
So it is coming from the shamanic Hawaiian tradition, yeah, the Ho'oponopono process, which Ho means to make, and Pono means to make right. Pono means to make double right. Double right, so meaning forgiving yourself, forgiving others. So through a guidance process and through different symbols that they are from the shamanic Hawaiian tradition, I help them to cut the cords.
wow. Now tell me, once you cut those cords, what are the experiences that it will evolve from there? So you'll cut the negative cord so they won't feel so drained. They'll feel more energetic. Is that the intention behind the cutting the cords? As I
Not, yeah,
understand.
not to feel drained, but also sometimes um, from a connection that it's not serving them anymore, they can feel stuck. So they cannot move forward. It's almost like, you are attached to something, and that something is pulling you back. In certain situations and experiences that I had with women, I'm saying women again because I work more with women than men, is that either that situation was with the father or with the ex-partner, like as they were even calling them right after, because they will feel energetically that something happened. And there are situations when maybe they were not talking for so long, like a year or 2 or 3, and they feel it. Somehow they feel that. And of course, it's the person's choice. I always, like as I say, it's your choice. You can answer or you cannot, but think about it 2 times before you do that.
Interesting. Very fascinating. I find this subject extremely fascinating. Do you find that women are more open to this process, cutting the cords, rather than men?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Some of them, they are not ready. And then, like it's when they are ready, then we do that. Well, in general, more women than men, they are more open to the idea, or open to understand, at least if they are not aware of it, to understand what's going on. But they are men that that they are very, very aware, and they want to do the work. Am I saying the work? Because it's, like it is not just me fixing them. It takes two into this process.
Yeah, it takes, they need to be
Commitment,
willing.
the
Yeah.
decision that, yeah.
Um, Luciana, what's in the pipeline for you in the coming months and especially next year? What are you working on to to help yourself, but also help more clients as they come and visit you? What are you
Well,
focusing on?
so yes, so there are a couple of retreats that I will have next year. They are based on the shamanic Hawaiian tradition of self-empowerment, understanding the self, the connection with the unconscious mind, the breath work. Also, the new program that I mentioned about the 12 weeks modules. Um, there will be some speaking engagements that I have the intention of having, and the rest is just, whatever the universe will present to me.
Will open up for you.
Yeah.
So if people want to know more about your program, more about what you do, your workshops, where can they go to find the details about your programs, your workshops, and everything that you're working on, especially the 12 weeks programs that I'm assuming someone can go online and do the process, right? Where can they find more of this information, or if they need to contact you, where can they find this information?
So on my website, yeah, the holistichealing.ca, and holistic is spelled with W from the wholeness. So holistichealing.ca. And of course, they can contact me in person. They can call me. This way I can explain much more in details for each one of them. I always offer, like a 20 minutes free consultation so they understand better my work. And for that, my phone number is 647-924-2410.
Beautiful. If I were to ask you to leave the audience with a message, to tell them something, especially something that, you felt you had a calling to, or something that they can relate to, anything that you want to share with the audience, what would that be? A
First and
message.
foremost, I will say, yeah, like it's listen to your soul, listen to your heart, and do not allow anyone else from outside to say that is not possible. Because when you listen to your heart and to your soul, everything is possible. I've been told 25 years ago, oh, what you gonna do with just doing this? And what if I would have not listened to my heart at that time? It's the most fulfilling work that I do. It's my life, my purpose. So listen to that. Listen to your soul, what it has to do. And if it's a relationship issue, again, listen to your soul.
Luciana, I usually ask this question to my audience because when you talk about your process, what you do, how you're being guided, I'm hearing alignment. So, what does alignment mean to you?
So alignment to me means being true to yourself, or align with everything that is in the core of your being at all time. I was talking about earlier ecology. Uh, we sometimes forget that ecology with ourselves. So being true to ourselves is what I feel that it's alignment.
Mm, that's so beautiful. Luciana, I want to say thank you for being on my show. And if anybody wishes to contact Luciana, they can go to
holistichealing.ca, or call me. Feel free to call me for a 20 minutes free consultation at 647-924-2410. And
amazing.
thank you so much for having me on your show.
Thank you, Luciana.